Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Loose cannon Leo's DiMera mansion visit, Ava finds Black Book Days of Our Lives, DOOL, spoilers recap for Thursday, May 2nd, reveals that Nicole DiMera, Ariane Zucker, babysat Jude Brady while Eric Brady, Greg Vaughn, talked to Chad DiMera, Billy Flynn, off-screen. That also gave Nicole a chance to answer EJ DiMera's, Dan Feuerriegel, phone call about her first day, but she simply suggested about working with a shooter and didn't mention Eric's name. When Eric returned, Nicole eavesdropped him leaving Sloane Peterson Brady, Jessica Surfety, a tense voicemail. Eric admitted he'd a fight with Sloane, who indicted him of treating her like she was no way good enough. After Eric apologized if he ever made Nicole feel that way, she allowed. They were in a good place and should leave the once buried. That said, Nicole bothered, perhaps it wasn't the stylish idea to work together since Sloane and EJ wouldn't like it. Still, Eric induced Nicole that it wouldn't be a problem, so they started agitating the series Chad wanted on the Unhoused in Salem. Coming on Thursday's day's occasion, Sloane set up Leo Stark throwing back martinis at small bar and got updates on the bifurcation letter Dimitri von Luskner transferred him. Although Leo said it was Sloane's fault for letting Dimitri get transferred to Supermax captivity where he eventually fell in love, Sloane reminded Leo that he promised to keep quiet about Jude. Leo didn't want to hurt Jude or Eric, but he was miffed over not getting anything out of his silence presently. Sloane argued that she would end gossip about the blackmail, so Leo could keep his character as an upstanding citizen. Leo didn't suppose he really had that character, but Sloane claimed blackmail could get Leo thrown in captivity. It was in both of their stylish interests to keep quiet, so Sloane hoped Leo understood that as she left. In the city forecourt on Thursday's DOOL show, Sloane called Melinda Trask, Tina Huang, and upset about Leo being a loose cannon now that he'd been ditched. When Sloane saw Eric and Nicole out for a perambulation with Jude, she glared at the three of them hard. At the cantina, Roman Brady told Ava Vitale that her parcel operation had been denied since she had no job or income. Ava told Roman to take down the help wanted sign and let her whip the place into shape, so he hired her and gave her a week to move him. It was a good idea. After Harris Michaels spoke to Marlena Evans about Bayview and John Black's recent questions, Ava told him about her new job at the cantina. Meanwhile, Marlena made her way outside and opened up to Roman about some of her enterprises, including Eric and Sloane's relationship as well as John's issues. Roman told Marlena he could take some of that off her plate and offered to look out for Eric while she bothered about John. At the DiMera manse on Thursday's day's occasion, Stefan DiMera told Kristen DiMera that she demanded to have Gabby Hernandez DiMera out of captivity before the board meeting if she wanted his help gaining power. Kristen assured Stefan that she'd figure out how to free Gabby since she always had another card up her sleeve. Stefan also brought up the fact that EJ knew he was running medicines through the bistro and did nothing, so he felt like EJ would do anything to keep that news from Nicole. At this stage of his life, Stefan go EJ's marriage was more important than DiMera Enterprises. In EJ's office on Thursday's day's occasion, he forced Rita to stay late and wanted to get his hands on all Titan's fiscal records. Rita realized EJ was conniving a Titan preemption on top of everything differently and bothered he was diving way too important. After Harris and Ava broke in the bistro, they started searching high and low for the Black Book. Gil Carter, David's Lee, hid. Stefan walked by and busted the two of them, so Ava and Harris eventually explained Clyde Weston's, James read, rearmost order. Once Harris suggested about his plan to bring Clyde down, Stefan offered to help find the Black Book. Harris allowed. Perhaps it could be in plain sight, so Ava realized there was a reserve marker wine bottle that no way had any dust like the others. Ava opened a special cube on that bottle, which allowed her to slide out the Black Book that had been rolled up outside. Back at the DiMera manse, Leo showed up drunk and had a feeling EJ would be willing to pay big bucks for his scoop. EJ was irked, but Leo made it clear that his dish was a real doozy. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Leo's about to unleash a world of trouble, so stick with us for prognostications on all the mayhem. Is Leo eventually going to slip the sap on Days? On the Thursday, May 2nd occasion of Days of Our Lives, feeling destitute and lonely, Leo drowned his sorrows in alcohol, which may beget him to gossip the verity. Also, Sloane spotted Eric and Nicole doting over baby Jude and looked upset. Leo is a ticking time bomb. Eric, Greg Vaughn, brought baby Jude to The Spectator, where he and Nicole, Ariane Zucker, bandied whether or not their separate consorts would be upset by them working together. Eventually, they agreed there would be no detriment in it. Nicole and Eric were assigned a report on the homeless in Salem, and because Eric had helped out at Harbors in the history, he agreed to help her out. It seems as if these two are being pushed together, and despite their passions that EJ and Sloane would have an issue, it's virtually guaranteed that they both will. Meanwhile, Leo situated himself at a table in a eatery, having a ridiculous pity party and ordering martini after martini. Sloane showed up and asked why he was drinking so much. He told her about the Dear Leo letter he got from Dimitri, Peter Port, and weltered over being ditched. He criticized it on Sloane because she got Dimitri into a different captivity where he met someone differently. Considering Port doesn't feel to be returning to the part of Dimitri anytime soon, this was a good way to write him out on a further long-term base and be the catalyst for what's to come. Learn about Leo and Dimitri's original plans to escape Salem. Sloane thanked Leo for going along with her cover story about how she was paying him. But she reminded him that he promised not to tell the verity about Jude and reiterated that she wouldn't tell anyone he blackmailed her if he didn't tell anyone that Jude was Nicole's baby. Leo didn't see how keeping quiet would profit him. They bandied the penalties for their crimes, and Sloane told him it was in both their interests to keep quiet. Sloane skating on thin ice, allowing she can contain Leo, who can be unpredictable when he's not drinking. Leo's loose lips may sink a big ship. Sloane latterly called Melinda and told her about how Leo got ditched and bothered that he was a loose cannon who could reveal the baby switch secret. Why cleaner characters with secrets continue to talk about them out loud in public is anyone's conjecture. She also stated that Leo had no indication that Jude was Eric's natural child when she spotted Eric and Nicole doting over the baby. At the same time, a drunk Leo tried to go over ways he could increase his income. He eventually came to a conclusion and stumbled out of the eatery. He landed 8.j's doorstep and blazoned that he wanted to tell him a secret for a price. In vino veritas, he said. And also he told EJ he was going to want to pay free-heartedly because, the dish I for you it's a doozy. We re on edge to see if he really blabs the verity, but sudsers frequently pull a bait and switch with these kinds of effects. Still, the secret of the baby exchange has gone on for far too long, so this story needs to come to its dramatic conclusion, and will have a ripple effect across numerous other characters' stories. The only problem is that if the verity does come out, it's doubtful that Leo and Sloane will go to captivity for any length of time, considering their portrayers are under contract, and so far, there hasn't been any word about them leaving. Pop culture reference of the day. While feeling sorry for himself in front of Sloane, Leo tried to quote a Linda Ronstadt song, the title of which he couldn't flash back, but was Commodity, about being sad, lonely, pitiful, and loveless. Chances are, he was pertaining to the pop star's song, Poor Poor Pitiful Me, from 1977. Is Leo eventually going to slip the sap on Days? On the Thursday, May 2nd occasion of Days of Our Lives, feeling destitute and lonely, Leo drowned his sorrows in alcohol, which may beget him to gossip the verity.